To revive Siri, the world's first mainstream voice assistant, it actually now needs Google's Gemini to power Apple intelligence. After 15 years of, sorry, I didn't quite catch that, Siri might finally catch something. But here's the twist. To revive Siri, the world's first mainstream voice assistant, yes, you heard that right, it actually now needs Google's Gemini to power Apple intelligence. Huge, if it's true. It is time to decode Apple's AI surrender and Siri's comeback. Reports suggest that while Apple will use a custom Gemini model run on Apple's private cloud compute powers, the next generation Siri launching around, March 2026. With AI-powered web search and complex tasks, so basically after saying we build our own chips, our own technology, our own destiny, Apple is outsourcing Siri's brain. In other words, Siri just got a brain transplant from Mountain View. Why does this matter? Well, we've covered this battle on Front Page before, how Apple fell behind in AI while everyone else sprinted. GPT 4.0, Gemini, Claude, agentic apps, autonomous workflows, voice operating system. Meanwhile, Apple emoji reactions are now more expressive. Apple intelligence was actually supposed to fix all that. But even with trillions in the bank, it still needs Google Silicon for the soul. The rivals laughing? Absolutely. Inside Cupertino, Apple reportedly tested. Anthropic performed better, Google won anyway. Why is that? Existing search deal plus scale plus speed. Sometimes AI isn't actually romance. It's an arranged marriage. And here, Google is the groom. Apple is the, we need stability kind of a bride. And if this feels sudden, it isn't. We already saw this crack in the Apple fortress. On Front Page, when Apple hit $4 trillion and quietly released the Pico Banana dataset built using Google's Gemini, we said it. Apple's walled garden isn't breaking. It's actually becoming a gated campus with Google as resident. End quote. That wasn't symbolism. That was actually phase 1. Today's Siri Gemini deal, phase 2. This isn't Apple losing control. It's actually Apple evolving from we do it all to we do it what it takes. Siri 2.0. Anyway, the 2026 Siri promises this. Understand complex requests, multi-step tasks, AI search responses, smarter home control, works across iPhone, Mac, HomePad, and smart display. Basically, Apple wants what Google Assistant already promised in 2017 and what OpenAI Voice has today. Ironically, despite OpenAI building deep into the macOS ecosystem from native system-level AI to acquiring Sky, the Mac First Agent interface built by ex-Apple engineers, they still don't have the Siri deal. Instead, Apple is reportedly paying Google to build a custom Gemini model. And honestly, we should have actually seen this coming. We called this exact convergence on Front Page during the Trump Big Tech dinner breakdown, when we actually said this, and I quote, Apple runs on Google, Google needs Apple, OpenAI trains on Google while tied to Microsoft. The rivals are becoming a supply chain, end quote. This is actually exactly what we meant. Today's Siri Gemini deal is that prediction turning real. Coming back to Apple now. Basically, Siri's brand right now, assistant that, tries. Punchline more than product. Great for timers, not great for, basically intelligence. If this reboot fails, Siri doesn't just lose. Apple's entire voice-first ecosystem collapses. Smart display, home robots, Vision Pro, Voice OS, CarPlay, next-gen UI. No Siri brain is equal to expensive furniture. Remember WWDC 2024? Apple said it was actually powering Siri with ChatGPT. Now it's Gemini. Tomorrow, Perplexity, Anthropic, who knows? Apple is basically private secure on device. Also Apple. Hey Google, can we borrow your neurons? This is actually the same Apple that spent a decade telling the world we don't need anyone. Turns out they clearly do. And we've actually covered this Siri struggle before. Go check out our earlier breakdown, please. This isn't actually weakness, it's reality of modern AI. And this is why. To build frontier intelligence, you don't fight alone. You partner, borrow, license, fuse, stitch. Most importantly, survive. AI has no permanent enemies, only bandwidth, latency, GPU, and inference contracts. If Apple pulls this off, Siri becomes useful for the first time in history. If not, Siri will still be the politely confused roommate of technology.